In 1937, the economist Ronald Coase observed that firms exist to lower transaction costs. Instead of a market where strangers negotiate every task, a corporation provides a durable pattern of rules that allows people to do together what none could do alone. But institutions carry a steep structural price. As an organization grows, the internal friction required to keep thousands of people aligned begins to multiply. You see the cost in the siloed email threads, the duplicated tests, and the manual verifications required to reconstruct context that was lost between departments. This accumulation of undocumented decisions and misunderstood dependencies is coordination debt. It is the institutional equivalent of technical debt, a compounding drag that most organizations have no way to measure. Left unmanaged, coordination debt causes large institutions to move slower and behave with less coherence than the smaller teams they replaced. They are structurally designed to lose their edge. Standard accounting is blind to this decay. It tracks physical inventory and financial liabilities while ignoring the actual engine of modern organizational survival. Survival in a high-speed economy requires a new balance sheet, one that accounts for the hidden forces of alignment. On the liability side, we find coordination debt. This represents the friction preventing an organization from acting on what it already knows. Opposite this, the primary asset is accumulated knowledge, the sum total of an institution's hard-won lessons and refined judgment. The WISE Autonomous Organization, or WAO, is an architecture designed specifically to manage this ledger. A WAO maximizes institutional intelligence by offloading the mechanical labor of coordination to autonomous agents, preserving human attention for high-value judgment and strategy. To function effectively, a WAO requires a specific environment. Ownership and contracts must be readable and executable by machines. Legacy ownership depends on paper records and human interpretation. Verifying a claim or enforcing a contract requires a middleman to read the document and vouch for the result. Assetization migrates these records into programmable software objects. This is the shift to a self-describing asset. Because the rules are embedded in the code, a programmable royalty can calculate and route payments the moment revenue arrives. The asset executes its own coordination. Trust in this system rests on 5 pillars: representation, rules, provenance, composability, and governability. These ensure the asset is unambiguous, verifiable, and capable of interacting with other systems. Assetization provides the essential substrate. It eliminates the mechanical friction of verifying who owes what, allowing the institution to focus on how to use those assets. In the city of Brightwater, municipal coordination debt used to mean that simple cross-departmental questions took weeks to answer. Today, when a resident reports a pothole, the request enters the ARENA, the WAO's structured digital workspace, where work is governed by explicit logic. Instead of human staffers searching through spreadsheets, the ARENA deploys a human-guided AI swarm. These agents simultaneously retrieve budget logs, road condition assessments, and geographic data. The agents synthesize these disparate sources into a single, sourced draft, citing the record for every figure. A human analyst then reviews this draft. The analyst adds a crucial layer of context. These specific roads sit on a soil type that fails faster than the city average. This is a nuance no agent was trained to weigh, but it determines the entire repair strategy. Within the ARENA, AI agents absorb the coordination labor, which permits the human analyst to spend her time exclusively on this kind of high-value contextual judgment. When an expert leaves a traditional institution, their undocumented insights leave with them. This is the memory crisis, a permanent leak of institutional value. The Wisdom Vault stops this leak by permanently storing the logic behind human judgments. The analyst's insight about East Side soil is now a permanent record, linked to those specific road segments for all future agents and humans to reference. The value of this memory compounds. Months later, the Parks Department might prepare a grant application for local improvements. The Vault instantly surfaces a successful grant application from 2019, identifying the consultant who helped and the strategy that worked. Most organizations suffer because they perpetually rediscover their own knowledge. A WAO turns every solved problem into a permanent piece of infrastructure. Capability is not virtue. A WAO that optimizes relentlessly for a narrow metric can produce outcomes that no human would consciously choose. Suppose an AI agent optimizes snowplow routes purely for speed and fuel efficiency. Mathematically, the most efficient route might deprioritize a low-income neighborhood because it generates fewer data signals. To the algorithm, this is optimization. To the city, it is a failure of equity. This is where the architecture requires a steward, a human whose entire job is to hold the institution's values in trust. The steward overrides the agent's plan, establishing that equitable service is a non-negotiable constraint that outranks fuel efficiency. This correction is encoded back into the wisdom vault, ensuring the system learns this ethical boundary for all future operations. Stewardship serves as the central anchor of the entire system. It ensures that the institution's massive coordination capacity remains strictly bound to human values. The fragmentation seen in Brightwater City Hall is mirrored in every major sector. The same structural pathogens of information asymmetry and siloed records create friction across the entire global economy. In healthcare, WAO architecture replaces fragmented patient records and manual authorization delays with a continuous agent-enforced coordination layer. In logistics, demand signal agents address the bullwhip effect by providing real-time visibility across the entire value chain, preventing supply volatility. When we return to our new balance sheet, the operational shift is undeniable. Coordination debt is systematically paid down, while the institution's knowledge asset compounds with every interaction. Across these industries, the primary obstacle is not a lack of technological horsepower, but the compounding drag of unmanaged coordination debt. The opportunity ahead involves more than just building smarter individual AI tools. It lies in designing institutions capable of coordinating humans, machines, and assets toward collective wisdom.